Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for Dropping Jewels Tuesday with Krystle and Metellus. Today, we're going to be talking about what causes people to lose traction and why. Because we all start off on fire. We all have an expected end in mind and a game plan on how to get there. We know how to envision the end from the beginning, but we have absolutely no clue what takes place in the middle. And it's that in-between stage that catches a lot of us off guard. And now when we had that passion that fueled our fire and kept us going, it begins to dwindle and get snuffed out. And this is how we begin to lose traction. So it's a lot of you watching today that have some unfinished business to tend to, right? But somewhere along the way, you've lost traction. Maybe you heard one too many no's and you got discouraged, or you ran up across some unexpected obstacles. That happens. Things that you didn't see coming, and it caused you to lose traction because you had to work a little harder than what you expected to have to do, right? Whatever that something is that caused you to lose traction, it needs you to regain it, right? And today we're going to figure out what some of those things could be. So I wrote down here 5 things that could cause you to lose traction. One being losing your grip. Have you ever heard the saying, get a grip on yourself? Someone will tell you to get a grip on yourself when they feel like you have lost control, or when you're acting unseemly or unruly, right? Or when you're going off track, they'll say, get a grip on yourself. Because what happens is when you lose control and you begin to go off track, damage will shortly follow. And this is what they're trying to prevent from happening. So they'll tell you when they notice that you seem unruly or you seem like you're losing control, they'll tell you, baby, get a grip on yourself, right? So when you lose grip, you're losing control. And when you lose control, damage will follow. Number 2 is breaking too hard. When God sets a certain motion in your life and he gets the ball rolling and he has you on the right foot moving forward in life, and you let some kind of distraction cause you to hit the brakes on what God has set in motion. Number 3, over accelerating, going too fast, not pacing yourself, leaving yourself no time for reaction. This is a major, major mistake. You want to leave time for reaction because the thing you will sure find out is that life will throw some unexpected blows. And if you don't leave yourself adequate enough spacing to properly gauge what's about to take place in your life, or properly position yourself to be able to stand against what you're coming up against, then you're setting yourselves up to be in a possible accident. Don't try to over accelerate. Don't try to get there too fast. Don't try to get there too quickly. Pace yourself and leave yourself timing to readjust to what lies ahead. Number 4 is road condition. Road conditions. What journey have you chosen? Have you chosen that straight and narrow road that God tells us to go, or have you chosen the slippery slope that's going to get you there faster? Because that's what a lot of us do. We pick the slippery slope because it gets us there faster. Why take the long, drawn-out road when I can get there much quickly with this slippery slope? But the slippery slope is not always the best way, because with this slippery slope and getting there quickly, you miss things that you were supposed to get along the way. So that long drawn out way was put in place for a reason, because it needed you to be able to pick up certain things along the way to sustain you for where you were going. But if you take this slippery slope and you get there too quickly, you don't house what it takes to be able to maintain at that place that you just arrived to. So before you know it, you headed back to where you came from because you couldn't sustain where you got to, if that makes sense. Number 5 is vehicle malfunctions. Something that happens that causes a breakdown. Something that happened in your life caused a breakdown. Maybe it was something that you experienced, something that happened to you, something that was tragic. You lost someone dear, someone violated you. You came up across something that just wasn't fair. You was dealt a bad hand. Something along the way caused you to break down. And as a result, you continue on going, being in a broken down stage instead of stopping, tending to the problem at hand, diagnosing what caused this breakdown, what caused this malfunction, dealing with it, getting it repaired, and then continuing on. You decided to go about life with this error message, right? And when you decide to go about life reading off this error message all along the way, what you are saying is, I know that I'm broken, but I'm okay with it, right? So as a result of you continuing to drive this vehicle that is faced with so many obstacles and so many problems, you're more likely to break down on the road, right? And now because you have so many things that haven't been tended to going on, you really don't know what is the root cause of the breakdown. And don't let it be a situation where toxins start to escape from your broken down place, because this is what happens. What are those toxins? Those toxins are you being vindictive, and you backbiting, and you talking about people, and you just being toxic in the environment you are around, because you are operating from a place of being broken. And this is how it affects the people around you and no longer just about you, right? So that's vehicle malfunctions. Many of you, or I'm going to say many of our assignments are way too big to forfeit. And they're way too important to delay. So it is important that you have the proper people in your life, so when you get to that place of losing traction, you have a driving force behind you to keep you going. Quick story. I remember a time where my physical vehicle had broken down, right? And I needed to get it from where it was to a safe place. I needed to get it in the hands of a mechanic so that they could diagnose what it was that went wrong, and then they could fix the matter at hand. They could fix the situation. They could fix the problem, right? So because my vehicle wasn't moving, because it lost its grip with the road, I couldn't get it from point A to point B. So I had my husband use his vehicle, and he had to take the bumper of his vehicle to the back bumper of my vehicle and literally bump the vehicle to a safe place where it can get tended to, right? He was the driving force behind my vehicle when my vehicle lost traction, when my vehicle lost control, when my vehicle broke down, when I couldn't go any further. That did not stop me from getting to my destination, because I had a force behind me. This is the same concept that we need in our everyday life, right? When you're traveling on that road to get to your destination and meet greatness, along the way, sometimes you will begin to lose traction. Sometimes your fire will begin to dwindle. Sometimes your passion won't be there anymore. However, if you have the right circle around you, you'll have people to be that driving force behind you, and they will take their front bumper up against your back bumper and move you forward in a direction that you need to go. I also want to read from you guys. Before I do that, I want to give you some tips on how to avoid losing traction. One is control, and control is when you have restraint and you have willpower, and you keep your composure, and you keep, your dictating to your own life, not becoming a follower of people, right? Whatever they doing, that's what I'm going to do, right? Or you're letting somebody else drive your car. You're letting somebody else be the driving force. Well, you should do this. Well, go that way. Well, do it this way. Well, why are you doing that? And now you got other people dictating in an area that you should be dictating. When that happens, you are no longer in the driving seat. Of course, we know God is the ultimate person who is driving your car. However, he gives us free will. So he gives us the ability to navigate as well, or to follow the blueprint that he has set out. When you relinquish that to someone else, you have lost control. So to prevent that from happening, you have to keep that willpower and keep that composure to stay in control of your life. Another thing is preparation, readying yourself for the journey. So here it is, you know where you're going, you know a roundabout time frame it may take you to get there. You need to make sure that you have all that you need within yourself to keep you going. This is one of the reasons why I believe that church is so important, because over time you can become famished, meaning you're hungry. You need some proper fuel in your tank to keep you going. The same with a car. Somewhere along the way from getting the point to A to point B, your tank will begin to empty out. At some point, you have to pull over to a gas station and refuel yourself to continue the journey before you, right? This is called preparation, guys. Preparation will stop you from losing traction in life. Also, attention, stay focused. I spoke about earlier how we can get distracted and what those distractions can lead to. If we stay focused, this can be even done with navigation, right? This can be done with GPS. This can be done with a map. You can have all those things in your everyday life. What can you do that with? Let's say here, a journal. You can do that with a journal. Write it out and make it plain. That way, when you feel like you are going off course, or when you feel like you no longer have control, when you feel like your vision is being blurred, all of these things can prevent you from getting to your destination. But if you wrote it down, you have something to go back to that can get you back on track. Also, another one, this thing right here. This is the blueprint for your life. This is your instruction manual. When you forget or when you're unsure, open it up and read it. I'm telling you, small little tips that help us, but we forget them. So, we also have direction. What is the ultimate direction? How do we get the ultimate direction? Through prayer. Listen to the instructions from God. He will direct your path if you let him. You just have to seek him for those directions and those instructions and that guidance that will get you to your destination. Guys, hopefully this bless you. Hopefully this will stop you from losing traction in life. If it blessed you, do me a favor. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, put one of those little jewel emoji icons in the comment section below. That lets me know that I have deposited a jewel into your spirit on today. Be blessed, guys. Stand up.